So, Kavos and Death Noodles have gotten themselves into a fight, and I found it really interesting, and I was like, why not make a video about it? So, their beef goes way back. I'm talking like years. When Death Noodles made a video talking about how Kavos made him want to quit YouTube.
I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. I've just been kind of sad over the past few days, ever since that whole thing with Kavos, where he basically tore my channel apart.
Which is a mistake. You should never let people on the internet know that the things that they're saying to you are affecting you in any negative way, because they're saying it to affect you negatively. The only good option is to just, okay, whatever, and just ignore it, because it's going to go away eventually. But as soon as you feed the flames, it's going to be 10 times worse. But this beef resurfaced when Death Noodles decided that he was going to make this tweet to Kavos. So apparently Kavos put out a tweet, but he's tweeted a lot since then. I just couldn't find it. So I'm just going to go with Death Noodles' tweet that says, at Kavos YouTube, since you're too pussed to do a street fight, let's do it on Street Beefs. Bare knuckles next week. So it's really interesting how he'll switch back and forth throughout this entire beef. Oh, I'm not interested in you, but I want to fight you. You're not ready for a fight, so we shouldn't even fight, but I want to fight you. Like, we have to fight, but I don't want to fight you. It's just so ridiculous. He's really just trying to put on this like weird tough guy act for no reason. Like, you spent like 2 or 3 years wearing cat ears. You're 37. What are you talking about? Oh, let's fight bare knuckles. What are you doing? Like, don't you have like other responsibilities that you have to tend to other than trying to act tough? Now, there's a myriad of tweets, and I don't want to sit here reading a ton of them to you because they're not all important, but I will, show you most of them so that you get a general idea of what's going on. So Kavos responded to Death Noodles, and he said, so you don't want to box because you hate rules, and now you want to do a street fight with rules? Just admit you're too scared to box. Honestly, there's nothing wrong in and of itself of like not being 100% confident in your ability to beat up some other person. Like, you don't have to act like you're the prime Mike Tyson, okay? Because nobody is except for prime Mike Tyson. Like, you don't have to put on this weird tough guy act for literally no reason. Like, people don't think Death Noodles is the coolest guy in the universe, right? And he keeps changing around his stipulations for the fight. I really think that he's trying to come up with pretty much anything that he can to avoid the fight, which really doesn't make sense, because like, if he loses, like, nobody's gonna be really surprised. In all honesty, nobody's gonna be sitting there, I never would have thought that you were gonna do it. Like, I never would have thought that you were gonna win in the first place. So it's really whatever. Now, Death Noodles came back with another tweet talking about the body mass of Kavos, which was just weird in general. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, you don't condition, blah blah blah, you aren't good enough, whatever. Then he goes to his old tactic of posting himself shirtless, which I don't know why he does that. And he's talking about how Street Beefs is this huge channel and that he's not serious about fighting. You just want attention. You can't lift a paper straw. This is the same guy who had you literally talking about how you wanted to quit your career because of how he talked about you. And do you not realize how ridiculous that sounds? I don't think so. I really don't think that Death Noodles is very self-aware. I think that he just grew up just not really having friends who were honest with him, and so he just did stuff and then was like, oh, well, I think it's cool, so it has to be cool, right? And it's just not working out for him at all. Kavos came out with an interesting response to one of these tweets, the one with the shirtless pictures, and he says, I've been pushing this boxing fight for months, and you only now just responded with these excuses and an embarrassing photo. This really feels like the time when Ricegum said that he wanted to fight iDubbbz, and iDubbbz was serious, and Ricegum was just blowing smoke. And so it just turned into this really weird thing. Like, I understand on the internet, it's really easy to just be like, oh, I'll beat up anybody, I'll destroy Prime Mike Tyson. I am the new Mike Tyson, okay? I'm got the speed of Ali and the power of Tyson, okay? Can't nobody touch me, because it's the internet, okay? But don't go starting stuff that you can't deal with. If you can only swim in 3-foot water, don't jump into the 9-foot end of the pool, because you'll drown. Now, am I saying that Death Noodles is gonna die because of this? No. What I am saying is that he's clearly bitten off more than he could chew. Death Noodles then has one of the wildest tweets I've seen in a while, Tweet a pic of yourself shirtless. Let's see if you're actually ready for a fight or if you're just gassing this up because you want attention. I'm ready to fight now, on the street or at street beefs, bare knuckles. Now, I'm genuinely curious, like, what will a shirtless picture tell you? Genuinely. Like, there's big boxers like Andy Ruiz, who just beat up, oh, well, it wasn't just, it was 2 years ago, but he beat Anthony Joshua, who was like this muscle-bound, 6'6", washboard abs dude. Like, what people would think is like the picture of health, and got beat by a bigger guy, Andy Ruiz. Like, just because somebody is in shape or isn't in shape doesn't mean that you're gonna beat them in a fight. Like, if being not in shape was like a factor, then it doesn't make any sense. Now, if you're like at the same skill level and one of you is less in shape than the other, then if it gets drawn out, then the one in worse shape is gonna lose, obviously. But you guys are two untrained YouTubers. It's not gonna be a long fight. It's probably gonna be 30 seconds. You're probably gonna run around each other. It's not gonna be a worthwhile fight either. So I don't even know why you're putting all this effort in. Then Def Noodles issues his final challenge, where he's like, okay, you're either gonna fight me in the streets or you're gonna fight me on street beefs. That's the only place. I'm done with you, clown. Honestly, I think a part of this is just staying away from public exposure, because if you street fight, not a ton of people are going to see it. Like, it'll be a little clip and maybe like at most 100,000 people see it. If you box and you get knocked out and you're a big YouTuber like Def Noodles is, that clip's going to be all over Twitter, it's going to be all over YouTube, and it's going to be all over TikTok. And you're going to see it for months and months and months. I mean, think about Nate Robinson. People are still making jokes about him. That was like 2 years ago that he got slept like that. I really feel like part of it is just him not wanting to be in that public eye. He doesn't want to face that pressure, which is okay. You know, not everybody built for the spotlight. Not everybody wants to be in the spotlight. But you can't talk this big game and then duck around and be like, we got to fight in the street. Mano, baby. First of all, you sound like a fool. Like, what are you even talking about? Just chill out. I'm telling you, this guy needs a break. He just needs to take maybe a couple of months off the internet. He makes good money. He makes good money. So just chill out, take a little break, and when you come back, this YouTube stuff's still gonna be right here for you. Like, you'll just be the same YouTuber. You can just chill and not throw yourselves into senseless beefs and lose parts of your fan base because you don't know how to chill out. Like, it's simple as that. Just stick to what you know. Do your job. Your job is to report on the news, quote unquote, and talk about what's going on at YouTube. That's all you have to do. And that way you don't end up in dramas like this where you're in over your head and you're just saying whatever comes to mind because you don't really want to fight him. And even if you do really want to fight him, I don't even know why. What's even motivation? Now, I did see an interesting reply to that last tweet, and I really wanted to talk about it. Actually, no, this wasn't a reply to that Noodles tweet. It was a reply to one of Kavos' tweets. But it doesn't really matter who they were replying to, because what actually does matter is the tweet. I doubt Def has ever been in a legit fight. Pillow fights with grandma doesn't count. One of his high school friends told us he was brutally picked on to the point where it wasn't funny. So yeah, lol. You know, that actually does make a lot of sense. Like, this does seem like somebody who's been picked on for a while and they're trying to stand up for themselves. They're also still scared. And I'm not really making fun of him for getting bullied. It's like, man, what can you do? Right? I mean, if you're getting bullied bad, and Def Noodles doesn't look like a big guy, and probably big people picking on him. I mean, what can you really do? You know, if it's a lot of people, there's really nothing. So it is what it is. But if he's never fought before, I don't know what the point of him trying to go fight Kavos is. He would just swing on him, and then Kavos would probably just duck out of the way and throw a haymaker at him, because I'm pretty sure that Kavos is actually trained from what I've just seen around. And then you stand over and be like, "Oi, bro, I told you not to mess with me. Yeah, see, and now you got the tea, and I gave you the crumpets. You better not come back to England, bro." And then he'd send him on a flight back home. And at the end of the day, nothing would be gained. He would just look like an idiot. Even now, it's just, what are you even doing? Why are you? I don't get it. I don't understand the point of fighting just to fight. Nobody thinks you're tough. They just all think that you're tough. But Def Noodles put out a video talking about how he had gotten into this Twitter beef with Kavos, and I really wanted to take a look at those clips. So let's go on ahead.
Anyway, I have zero interest in going into business, in doing anything, collabing in any sort of way with this individual, with Kavos. And why did I say business, going to business? Because, folks, whenever you do a fight like this, okay, you're essentially going into business with a person. You're signing an agreement for however many months that you're going to train, you're going to promote the event, you're organizing the event, or if somebody else is organizing it for you, you're still keeping an eye on it, checking, you're making content for it, you're, doing this and that.
It's really weird to hear him say, "Oh, well, I just don't want to do business with him." Like, what? You still get the chance to knock him out in front of a ton of people. I thought you were so confident in this fight, but you're not. Okay, you're putting on that. If you weren't, then you'd be 100% ready to go. Like Sam Hyde, he's ready to fight Hassan Pike because he's confident in himself. Like he's like, all right, I'll fight you here. I fought you in Los Angeles. I'll fight you in a back alley on the right side of Brooklyn. Bro, I care. I just want to fight you. And I don't think Def Noodles really has that, despite all this weird posing that he's tried to do of, hey, I'm this tough guy. Don't you see me? I'm a tough guy, guys. You guys have to believe me. Oh, look, I'm changing my image. I'm letting the real Dennis show. Guys, I'm tough, okay? I came from the mean streets of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Don't mess with me, alright? Or you're gonna get the noodles.
So at least 24 tweets that this motherfucker has been tweeting about me for the last few days. Like I said, I have no interest in fighting him. So here's my offer, Kavos. I know you're probably watching this, just considering how obsessed with me you are, considering how much you tweet about me, how desperately you're trying to fight me.
So he calls Kavos obsessed with him, even though, why are you feeding into that? If you think this guy is like weirdly focused on you, you would think that you would just try to ignore it, like, oh, whatever, let me just not reply, let me not feed the trolls, quote unquote. But clearly this affects you enough to the point of where you want to say something. So it's a little odd to play both sides of like, well, didn't want to feed into it, but also like I am going to still feed into it because I really want to get back at you.
And if you really want to fight me, here's my offer, okay? We'll do a street fight. I will, as soon as you give me the word, I will book a ticket to go to your country. He lives in England. I will fly to England, be it London, wherever you live in England. I will fly to your country and we will do a street fight.
He keeps going with the street fight stuff, and at this point it's like, just chill out, dude. Like, it's not even that important. Just calm down. Everything's gonna be okay, all right? Because I don't know why he keeps pressing the issue. Like, we have to fight. Like, calm down, okay? Just do a boxing match. Why are you like, the laws in the UK are a lot more stricter, especially when it comes to boxing matches. I know I said stricter instead of strict, but whatever. Anyway, like, if you hit somebody too hard on the head, they fall down and die. It's the same over here. Like, you get charged with manslaughter, but over here, sometimes you get like attempted manslaughter if depending on where you are. But over there, it's like always manslaughter and things of that nature. They crack down on violence a lot. Guns are completely banned over there, and if you're a civilian, you can't get a gun. That's why they go around with knives somewhat. But still, like, Dennis would just be putting himself in harm's way more than just fighting. Like, he would be going out there doing dumb stuff just to prove a point. Like, what are you doing? At the end of the day, really, what are you doing? Like, just chill out, dude. Just go home, take a breather, and then go back to YouTube. Just take a break away from this, because clearly you're not at it. The car isn't running at 100% capacity, and it needs to be. Dennis, take a break. It's okay. Not everybody can run around and do all this stuff all the time. That's fine. But what isn't fine is going around threatening people and begging them to fight you. That's ridiculous, and it makes you look ridiculous. But on that note, I want to end it off here. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Goodbye.
Joined event with you. Have no interest in participating in anything with you. If you want to fight, I just want to kick your ass.